So what's up everyone, my name is Oscar into another video, and today's video I'm going to be telling you the top 10 things that you should avoid during the Ramadan. I know most of you might not be Muslims, but if you're a Muslim, be aware of the following things, and I'll be having some facts drop down. And if you haven't seen my other video whereby I actually talked about Ramadan and I asked people in China about what they think and what is prohibited in China to do during the Ramadan, please make sure you watch this video, and if you haven't, make sure you go back to watch it. And after that, yeah, let's get started. So coming up, number 10 is having wrong intentions. Now when I say wrong intentions, what I mean is someone fasting for the intention of showing off instead of doing it for Allah, as is quoted on the Quran. Every deed of the son of Adam will be multiplied for him, between 10 and 700 times for each merit. Allah said, except for fasting, for it is for me and I shall reward for it. Another one is sinful speech. If someone is fasting and he does something sinful or think of something sinful, it's said that he or she will be reduced on the gift. Like his gifts will be reduced, and sometimes even he won't receive. As it's written, I quote, "Whoever does not abandon falsehood in speech and acting on it, and believing with ignorance, then Allah has no need for him to abandon his food and drink." So from this passage, we actually understand that if a person is fasting, of course he has a valid fasting, but in case if he continues with or if he does a forceful speech or acting, his rewards will be reduced or even removed, all of them. So that's what it meant. So the 8th one takes us to adultery and fornication. Now when it comes to adultery and fornication, it is a major sin in Islam. So when you do that, especially for those people who are in Ramadan and they are actually married, at that time when you do that, you're supposed to go for like a feeding of 60 people, and if you can't do that, you're supposed to be fasting for 2 months, as it's in a punishment. So if it's outside of marriage, this person is required to first repent, because it's a bigger sin, and actually go for the 2 months. So that's it. So number 7 takes us to no fasting without an excuse. For anyone who is actually not fasting without an excuse, for example those people with stomach ulcers, though right now according to the technology advancement, even those people with stomach ulcers, they could also be fasting and actually use medication. But those people who have actually been fasting, it's a good thing. But actually for those people who are not fasting and there is no specific reason to why they're not fasting, it's considered even a major sin more than adultery. So the punishment on this side is also bigger than that one. Another sin is not giving zakati. Zakati is a charitable giving to those people who actually need our help. Now for those people who are actually laughing to the people who are giving out zakati and those people who are not giving zakati, they will be considered the same. They're going to get their punishment after the death. So as I quote here, it's written, "Whoever is made wealth by Allah and does not pay zakati of his wealth, then on the day of the resurrection, his wealth will be made like a bald-headed poisonous male snake. With 2 black spots over the eyes, the snake will encircle his neck and bite his cheeks and say, 'I am your wealth, I am your treasure.'" And it is quoted, "And let not those who greedy withhold what Allah has given them of his bounty ever think that it is better than for them. Rather, it is worse for them. Their necks will be encircled by what they withheld on the day of resurrection. And to Allah belongs the heritage of heaven and earth, and Allah with what to do is fully acquainted." Moving on to number 5, it is disrespecting parents. I think this is mostly in most of the religion. If you disrespect your parents, it's actually not a good thing, and you're going to get even curses because you'll be missing their blessings. And when you do that, there is a lot of things. I know most of the children and most of the youth, they tend to disrespect their parents for some reasons, which when you do that during the Ramadan, even if it's not Ramadan, that is a total sin. And as I quote from the Quran, "And your Lord has declared that you not worship except him, and to parents good treatment, whether one or both of them reach old age with you, say not to them, 'Off,' and do not repel them, but speak of them a noble word, and lower to them with the wing of humanity out of mercy, and say, My Lord, have mercy upon them, as they have brought me up when I was small. Another sin is praying. Most of the religion, if you don't pray, you are literally in trouble. So same goes to Ramadan. When it's time for Ramadan, you are supposed to be praying. And as I quote here, and whoever turns away from my remembrance, indeed, he will have a depressed life, and will gather him on his day of resurrection blind. Another sin is drinking alcohol. Whether it's actually Ramadan or it's not Ramadan, it's actually forbidden to drink alcohol. Now, I know there's so many industries that are trying to build alcohol and stuff, but when it's Ramadan, do not drink alcohol. As I quote, "Oh, you who have believed, indeed intoxicants, gambling, satisfacting on stone altars to other than Allah, and divining arrows are but defilement from the work of Satan. So avoid it that you may be successful." Coming up, number 2 is smoking. You're not allowed to smoke even if it's not Ramadan. Now, in the Quran, it's not quoted directly that you should not smoke, but it's quoted that you should not intoxicate yourself. As I quote, "And spend in the way of Allah, and do not throw yourselves with your own hands on destruction, be refraining, and do good. Indeed, Allah loves the doers of good." Lastly but not least is relieving yourself. Now, most of the times is sometimes when men do to have wet dreams. Now, when it happens as a wet dream, it's not really a sin, but when you relieve yourself, bracket, masturbation, during the day or even during the night, at any time, as long as you masturbated, it is not a thing. Like, it's not a thing that should be forgiven. It's a sin, so you need to repent. And most of the times, if it is a wet dream, you are required to take shower before continuing with other rituals. So thank you guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And actually, if you haven't seen the other videos that I did, as I told you before, from China, make sure you check them out. And actually, if you have seen other videos too, make sure to subscribe, because there'll be more content coming up. Soon I'll be showing you some videos about my country and Tanzania, so be sure to subscribe, and other countries too. So see you around, though it's a hard time, but actually I'm trying my best to move around and show you the best thing that I could get. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, make sure you leave me a comment what you think about the video, and tell me what topic should I be dealing with next time. Oh God. So, and peace out. Bye bye.